At this time, we'll call to order the regular meeting of Common Council. This is May 6, 2025. Carrie, roll please.
Alderperson Carpenter.
Here.
Estercon. Gantz.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Funniger.
Here.
Ledvina.
Here.
P-Rock.
Here.
Quigley.
Here.
Mayor Boyd.
I am here, thank you. Alderperson Estercon is excused. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3, approval of the minutes of the April 15th, 2025 Common Council meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, second by Alderperson P-Rock. Discussion or comments? Seeing there is none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 4, public comment upon matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Common Council. Anyone in person or virtually have any public comment upon matters not on the agenda, now is your time. If in person, just go to the front table. If virtually, just state your name. For the second time, any public comment upon matters not on the agenda. Third and final time, any public comment upon matters not on the agenda, now is your time. Very good. Item 5, presentation of Police Department awards ahead of National Police Week. I will join Chief Moraski in the front here, and we will go. And Captain Nowak is going to be up there too.
Cool. I do.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everybody. We feel pretty safe right now, do we not, with all the with all the protection that we have? So thanks for coming. We could use you every council meeting. This is actually a very special night because we're going to honor some very, very special officers who went above and beyond in the past year. But we should also recognize that coming up next week is National Police Officer Week next week. Unfortunately, it doesn't fall the same week as a council meeting, so we will do a special proclamation next week. But to introduce what we're doing today, I'm going to say a few things and then pass it on to the chief. Tonight, we honor some of our talented DPR officers who have been recognized over the past year. I want to take a moment to emphasize how deeply we value our police department. The state of police work today is more demanding than ever. Officers face not only the physical dangers of their job, but also the emotional toll that comes from addressing complicated and dangerous situations and navigating the intricacies of a dynamic and diverse society. It's a job that requires courage, unrelenting resilience, and a steadfast commitment to serving our public. Our officers drive above and beyond to meet these challenges day in and day out. Our police department is not merely enforcers of the law, they are vital members of our community. They work to ensure our safety, but also to build trust and foster relationships. We are thankful for them. And while today we celebrate those that serve, next week we will honor those that we have lost. In 1962, United States President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day. National Police Week, next week, has evolved in what is today since then and provides a chance for us to pay honors to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. In 2024, 165 officers died in the line of duty, including a Wisconsin Department of Corrections youth counselor. Once again, next week we will recognize this very special week, but tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to honor some of our best and finest. You're going to hear some stories of remarkable courage and dedication, both in the line and out of the line of duty. So to explain more about these awards, I'm going to pass this on to the chief. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you to the members of the council for giving us the time to do this tonight. I know there's a lot of other city business that you all want to probably get to attend to, so I appreciate you taking the time. It's one of my favorite jobs as chief of police. Some of the less fun parts of the job involve maybe when we give officers follow-up assignments or things like that aren't as much fun, but tonight is one of my absolute favorites because we get to recognize the great work that the women and men have been doing all the time. We don't recognize them as often as we should, and obviously they do a lot that never does get recognized. So tonight is our small attempt to make some amends for that, and it's one I'm just super excited about and can't wait to get started with. So without further ado, let's just talk about their excellent work over the year and tell their stories.
Excellent. We're going to do one at a time here. So which one do you want to go with first?
This first group is actually all from one incident. So we actually had 5 different officers that had a role in this particular incident.
Okay.
So if you and I just want to alternate, we can read about each specific officer's role.
So I'm going to read this one. This is, again, involving multiple officers. So, on August 13th, 2024, DPMC police officers were dispatched to a weapons call in the 1400 block of 7th Street regarding a possibly intoxicated male shooting a rifle in his backyard. Officers Phillips, Witkowski, Heinen, K-9 Officer Dawson, and Sergeant Waterrood responded. A contact team with ballistic shields, lethal and less than lethal equipment consisting of all of the officers using the neighborhood residents for cover. Officer Heinen established a perimeter and observed the suspect with the rifle. K-9 Officer Dawson made phone contact with the suspect's wife, who stated he was intoxicated and loading the rifle. Officer Dawson convinced her to hand the phone over to the suspect, and he successfully persuaded the male to put down the rifle and come outside unarmed. The suspect eventually emerged, but did not immediately comply with verbal commands. Due to the suspect moving behind his truck, the contact team advanced, and Officer Phillips safely took him into custody. A .22 caliber rifle was recovered, and a deceased animal was found in the backyard. The officers on this call showed a calm demeanor, adaptability, and tactful communication during the duration of this incident. K-9 Officer Tyler Dawson deserves to be commended for bringing this high-stress incident to a successful conclusion with no harm to anyone involved.
This is the same incident for Sergeant Chad Waterrood. Officers were dispatched to a weapons call in the 1400 block of 7th Street regarding a possibly intoxicated male shooting a rifle in his backyard. At the time, what they did not know is that he had already shot an animal. Sergeant Waterrood was the responding supervisor at the time. He, among the other officers that you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, did establish that contact team, including Officer Phillips, Witkowski, Dawson, and Sergeant Waterrood, and they did approach that residence. This is not something that officers take lightly, but they are approaching someone that is a known armed suspect. The suspect did eventually emerge, as mentioned, but did not immediately comply with verbal commands. When that situation presented itself, the officers had to approach even closer to the male to take him into custody, and thankfully they were able to do that safely with Officer Phillips placing him in handcuffs. The officers on this call showed a calm demeanor, adaptability, and tactful communication during the duration of the incident. Sergeant Chad Waterrood deserves to be commended for his role and leadership in bringing this high-stress incident to a successful conclusion with no harm to anyone involved.
And we have more. Again, all the same incident, so rather than describe it, because I think they're pretty much the same that we have in each of these, we want to recognize Officer Kyle Phillips, and he deserves to be commended for his role in bringing this high-stress incident to a successful conclusion, again, with no harm to anyone involved. So Officer Kyle Phillips, we'll bring you all at the same time, so hang in there, everybody.
And the same also incident is also being recognized here for Officer Kevin Witkowski. He had the role of holding the ballistic shield at the front, not only protecting himself, but all of the fellow officers as they were trying to approach this male in this dangerous situation.
Wow. And then you have one more. You could just grab the other one. Is it 2 more or just 1 more?
Just one more.
Yeah.
And the final officer involved in this is Officer Adam Hanen. He deserves to be commended for his role. He established a perimeter position and observed the suspect with the rifle, providing surveillance, and was communicating all of that information to the other responding officers that were on that response team. So he also deserves to be commended for his role in bringing the high-stress incident to a successful conclusion with no harm to anyone involved.
That's incredible. So what we'll do is we'll have everyone come up here, and then we'll present the awards. So if they're here, come on up. Captain Nowak's going to help out with this one. You watch this, please.
Also, with the award certificates, each officer is also issued a ribbon for their certificate of merit. They can wear those ribbons during honor guard events, on their dress uniforms, or if they opt to, they can frame them or place them in a shadow box with their other rank insignia, badges, and things of that nature.
Why don't you do this? We'll hand these to you.
First one is being given to Officer Kyle Phillips.
The second one is being given to Sergeant Chad Waterrood. Right here. And the third one is being given to Officer Kevin Witkowski. And then each of you, as mentioned, would also get the ribbon for the certificate of merit.
All right, once again. Yeah. I want you to do that one.
Okay.
Do that one.
This next certificate of merit is for Officer Brianna Delvo. On September 28th, 2024, Officer Delvo responded to a call on 3rd Street for a female in active labor. She arrived on scene and observed the female on a blow-up mattress in the living room. The father was by his wife's feet. Officer Delvo immediately took charge and told the father to hold his wife's hand while she took up a position by the mother's feet. She verified that there was a blanket there while she continued to tell the mother to breathe. At one point, one or more of the other children entered the living room. She calmly told the children to go back into the other room. Officer Delvo noticed that the baby was crowning, and she put her hands closer to the mother, and the baby came out into Officer Delvo's hands. She immediately advised dispatch that the baby had been delivered. Rescue personnel arrived and took over. Officer Delvo remained next to the mother and kept her calm and answered questions that the mother had. The mother started shaking uncontrollably, and she was asking why, because that did not happen during her other births. Officer Delvo calmly explained that it is normal for the body to shake after birth. Officer Delvo remained calm and in control the entire time. This is not a call that we are trained in, and most officers will go their entire career without a labor delivery. Officer Brianna Delvo deserves to be commended for handling the situation as professionally and as humanly as possible.
Congratulations. God, you were there. Is Kevin here, Witkowski? Come on up. Well, you were here the first time, so come on up again. Can stand right next to Captain Nowak. Up next, Officer Kevin Witkowski, seen him before, was dispatched to an assisted living center for a theft complaint. The complainant, an employee, wanted to report multiple residents had reported missing items ranging from jewelry to wallets. Officer Witkowski responded to the center and began to gather information for his report. Over a period of 1 week, he was able to identify 5 different victims and multiple pieces of property stolen. Officer Witkowski was given a possible suspect at the time of the call. Almost immediately after clearing the initial call, Officer Witkowski noticed a new call other officers were responding to involved in the same suspect for an unrelated manner. He took the initiative and went to the call to talk with the suspect. He was able to use his interviewing skills and confirm the suspect worked at the facility and locked her into a story of denial. Officer Witkowski worked with Detective Sergeant Hansen to locate some of the stolen jewelry at a pawn shop. Officer Witkowski relayed this to the, to the shop to hold the property until law enforcement could seize it. Throughout this investigation, Officer Witkowski was extremely thorough and wrote highly detailed reports for each victim and theft. Officer Witkowski clearly took into consideration the heightened nature of the victim's vulnerable state in his thoroughness of this investigation. Because of Officer Witkowski's patience and follow-through, he was able to positively identify the suspect and identify a co-conspirator. He should be commended for his thoroughness and initiative. Congratulations, Kevin. That is for you.
Sometimes the fancy paper makes it difficult to read these.
And it's small.
The next awards are for two officers for off-duty action. It's for Officers Ryan McShane and Officer Brian Rates. We received a letter from the family of Randy Rabel. I am writing this in regards to two of your officers, Ryan McShane and Brian Rates. Not sure if you have heard that on February 7th, 2025, your officers were off-duty fishing on Lake Winnebago. As they were leaving, they saw my brother-in-law Randy Rabel down on the ice alone. They spared no time, and as Ryan said, quote, took a hard left in their trucks to go check the situation out. They can tell you the whole story. Like Ryan said, it is what they are trained to do, and even off-duty, they were true professionals. 911 was called, and life-saving measures were started. Between Ryan and Brian, compressions were started, and then another fellow fisherman joined them so that Brian could help to get the UTV and the airboat to the right location for that ice rescue. Compressions were done for 50 minutes.
Wow.
I don't believe any of the firefighters are here tonight, but I'm sure they would tell you that doing CPR for even 10 minutes feels like an eternity. So the fact that they did CPR compressions for 50 minutes is outstanding in its own right. The medical examiner told the family that even with the heroic measures from Ryan, Brian, and the other fishermen, Randy would not unfortunately have survived. But they kept going until EMTs got there. It is a shock to say the least for my family, but it is also calming to know that Randy did not die alone. I have been in contact with Ryan and Brian, and I get the feeling that they are truly stand-up guys. Their conversations with me put the family's mind at ease and answered all of their questions. So here is where I say thank you from the Rabel family to Officer McShane and Officer Rates for going above and beyond, whether it be on duty or off. Thank you to all the officers that were able to come tonight. I know that there were a couple that were unable to attend for duty reasons and some other things. I just wanted to mention very quickly before we close here that these awards are all nominated by a variety of sources. Oh, we do have one more. Yep. Oh, yes, we do. we have another two-time winner. My
Kyle
apologies,
Phillips,
Kyle.
come on up. Nice try. Kyle, second one. On Monday, December 9th, 2024, Officer Kyle Phillips assigned a second shift patrol on the west side of the city. At 8:37 p.m., less than 2 hours left in the shift, Officer Phillips was conducting a crime prevention in a high-crime residential area. Officer Phillips observed the vehicle entering the area he was observing, stopping for approximately 30 seconds and continuing out of the area. Officer Phillips knew this was odd behavior and chose to follow the vehicle. Officer Phillips conducted a records check, which in turn showed the vehicle was not registered to a DPMC address. Additionally, Officer Phillips observed an equipment violation and a moving violation. Officer Phillips chose to stop the vehicle. After initiating the contact, probable cause was developed to search the vehicle. Due to currency, 700. Due to Officer Phillips' actions, the following items were located and seized: a firearm, $3,410 of U.S. currency, 700 THC cartridges, and 954 grams of marijuana. Two suspects were taken into custody for possession with intent to deliver charges. Officer Phillips continually shows his initiative, dedication to law enforcement, and drive to improve and excel in this career on a daily basis. This incident is just a small glimpse of what Officer Phillips strives to do each day, and he deserves to be commended for his initiative, professionalism, and persistence. Officer Kyle Phillips, congratulations.
I'm just so used to Kyle doing great work.
Multiple award winner.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention the work, too, that the awards committee for the department put into this. We have an awards committee that's made up of members of all different ranks from all different divisions of the department. I will say that when people do receive an award, it is a very nice honor because they are selected and approved by their peers. The nominations can come from anywhere, but it does have to make it through the awards committee. And I can tell you that a lot of cops have the mantra that we're just doing our jobs. But what is really cool is that this is deemed worthy by their peers to be recognized. And I think that makes the awards even more special when they pass that muster.
Yeah, it really does. And then on behalf of the Common Council, everyone that's up here, we really commend you and thank you for your service and what you do. We don't take any of this for granted. I trust you that we do not, and we appreciate you every single day. This is just one small way that Chief and the captains can do to thank you. But for us to put faces to the officers is very important to all of us. So on behalf of the Common Council, thank you very much and congratulations. This is just one night, but I know you do this every day. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
So hard to read those sheets of paper. Is it not?
I was gonna say, I think it's even bigger.
Yeah, but then there's like little blurry lines and stuff in between. Not fair.
It was very small font.
Holy man. You guys all know I'm a big font kind of person, for the record. All right, where am I?
Number 6.
Thank you.
I think number 6.
Item 6, consideration and possible action on fitter and faster swim camp agreement at VFW pool.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Levin, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Marty, if you can talk about what the fee would be for the participants, and is it open to anybody in the public?
I don't know what the fee is, so that would be one question I did not prepare for. And the program is open to the public.
Okay, thank you.
It's just that we're contracting with this company.
And they're paying us for the use of the pool? Yep.
All good? Thank you. Other questions or comments? All right, that'll do it. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 7, recommendation from the License Committee on an application for change of agent for Green Room Theater, LLC, ComedyCity Theater, 365 Main Avenue.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Carpenter, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? All right, seeing there is none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, Resolution 2553, authorizing donation agreement with Downtown De Pere.
Move to approve?
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Ledmana. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, Marty, just wondering what specific facility improvements are being made, and if this comes with any naming rights on the building?
To answer your second question, no. To answer your first question, with the grant, we had to actually submit estimates of project to be done. So what we turned in, project number 1 was to complete the running of the fiber from our location to the Nelson Pavilion. Project number 2 was constructing a stairway, that leads from the patio down to the lower bowl. Project number 3 was the acquisition of aluminum railings Right now, if you remember, part of the ability of the patio was that it could be converted to a stage, and the railings were removable. They are removable, however, the railings weigh about 350 to 400 pounds. So if we are able to get aluminum railings, it cuts that in half and makes it very manageable for staff to be able to make them portable. And then the last thing that we have as part of the acquisition was sound absorbing panels. Because when you're in the Nelson Pavilion, it's wonderful, but it echoes. So those were the 4 items that were identified that accumulate up to the $50,000.
Awesome, thank you.
Marty, should be also noted that the $50,000 actually comes from what source? We can at least identify that.
It comes from the Brown County Tourism Grant that they implemented back in the, seems about a year ago.
This was a year of our life that Marty and I will never get back. So this started last year?
Yeah, it was probably all of a good solid year ago.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're very grateful that
Yes.
Brown County eventually gave the money to the city. So we are very grateful. Other questions or comments? Alderperson Carpenter.
So the railing we have there, is that kind of going to disappear then, and we're always going to have?
No, what the intention would be is that the steel railings that we are replacing with aluminum railings, we would actually kick to the outside and continue to work on enclosing the patio a little bit more. So they would go to use and be able to enclose the patio in a little more.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure if you said, I apologize if it was, but these will be done in short term, correct? The stairs and the,
Well, what we are waiting for the agreement to be signed, and then we will be waiting for the check to make it to definitely appear. Once that occurs, we will order all of the work. Now, I can't promise when that'll happen with contractors, but the work will be ordered right away.
so we're hoping in short order. So this is good news. Other questions or comments? All right, that said, we need a roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Carpenter,
Aye.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Cuniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Good to have that done, is it not, Marty? Item 9, Resolution 2554, approving home improvement loan and authorizing disbursement to Kristy and Pikus.
Move to approve?
I'll second.
Motion by Alderperson Hanson, seconded by Alderperson Gantz. Discussion or comments? Alderperson Hanson.
Yeah, I'm excited we got this application. Just want to thank the homeowner for making these investments into her home, and I would encourage other residents to consider applying for this program if they're eligible. Talked to our development services staff today. Currently, the interest rate, it's 1.5% below the 10-year Treasury note, so that's currently 2.71%. So it is a very good program. That rate is significantly less than you can get for like a home equity loan from a financial institution. So I would encourage other residents to consider taking advantage of the program.
And if they are interested, they should go to the website, Development Services, and then just kind of search home improvement loans. So yes, it's very good you brought that up.
Good brain.
Other questions or comments? All right, roll call vote, please. It's the last
Alderperson
item.
Gantz,
Aye.
Hanson,
Aye.
Cuniger,
Aye.
Ledvina,
Aye.
P-Rock,
Aye.
Quigley,
Aye.
Mayor Boyd,
Aye.
Carpenter.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Up next, future agenda items. Anyone have anything? Alderperson Hanson.
I just have one for Board of Public Works. So the Brown County is supposed to be reconstructing Webster Ave next year. And I just wonder if we can get an update on kind of what their plans are. I know there's been some discussion about possibly narrowing the road to, 2 lanes, 1 lane going each way. That's obviously something I think that the board would need to kind of sign off on if we are going to change the configuration of the road. So just wondering if that can go to the board for an update and further discussion on what their plans are for next year.
Very good, thank you. They have that down. Other future agenda items? All right, up next, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Alderperson Ledvina. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're officially adjourned. Thank you, everybody.